Reading all you need to know about the music business from Donald S. Passman. And we're going to start where we left off at. Page 71. Catalog. There is separate marketing department for older product called catalog product. Film TV. This development hounds people to use the company's recording in movies, TV, shows, and commercial. It's also called a sync department, which we'll discuss on page 244. So much for the survivors. Now let's take a trip to Foley Valley. Historically, the other record company departments were sales, selling, and shipment records to stores, making sure your recording is displayed prominently, marketing, publicity, album cover artworks, promo videos, ad campaigns, etc. Production, manufacturing, printing, covers, etc., and products management. A point the other departments all did their jobs for your record. This worked nicely when we were debating with physical product, but as excuse me, as you know, physical product is now a vampire when a wooden stake in his heart, throwing off a few last twitches. So here's what these jobs look like today. As we discuss, marketing departments traditionally reached out to consumers and sales. People reached out to record stores. The stores of today are the digital service providers called DSPs, such as providers, Apple Music, etc. Sales and marketing departments are now divided on the basis of who they've gone after. Specifically, marketing people deal with consumers and sales deal with the DSPs, like they deal with their own stores. Here's some more detail. The marketing department have different names at different companies, but they usually called something like digital marketing. Their job is to hype your music to consumers through website design, social media marketing, etc. They also track social media engagement and collect data on how your music is trending, or more and more people streaming it. Is it falling off a cliff? Similarly to the way sales departments ship physical records in the past, today's sales departments are responsible for all the technical function around digital files, such as correctly encoding metadata on the masters. Metadata is the embedded information that tells the name of the song, artist, album, who to pay, etc. And developing the digital files to hundreds of DSPs around the world. Most important, however, is that salesperson puts the DSPs to maximize streams of your records. For example, sales folks try to get you featured on the DSPs to homepage. They also try to get you on playlists. And as I understand it, Playlisting is a pretty complex area. For example, you don't want unknown music too early in a playlist. Listeners skip it, and DSPs keep track of which songs are being skipped so they can dump them. But you can't want your song too late in the playlist because people stop listening before they get to it. Their goal is to drill your music deep enough into a subscriber's brain so that it ends up on their personal playlist. That way, they keep listening to your music and making your money long after the records were released. This is known in the industry as leanback, meaning that someone is listening to their own playlist or a DSP called playlist as opposed to lean in, where they're actively searching for new music. As for other departments, product managers now handle the logistics of things like TV appearances or Facebook and Spotify promotions. Production now plans releases, meaning they can together final edits of the music, credits, delivery to the DSPs, etc. Some companies also have a strategic marketing department that finds endorsement and sponsorship opportunities for artists and takes a percentage of the deals. Finally, we come to distribution. The major record companies' records are also distributed by major distributors, which are gigantic distribution networks that are allowed and owned by the major labels' parent companies. Their distributors coordinate digital distribution and move physical records from manufacturing plants into their stands. They also report streaming data to the record labels. Independents. Independents are record companies that aren't owned by a major, and they come in two main flavors. True independents. A true independent is now owned by a major label, either in work or in part, and is fully functioning record company on its own. Examples are XL, Merge, and Victory. Independent record company, independent distributor, retailer. Independent generally distributes their records through independent distributors, which are set up to deal with the specialized needs of independent companies. Through some larger independents distribute through major lead distributors in a few situations. Strange as it sounds, most of the big independent distributors are owned by the same companies that own the major labels. Specifically, Red and The Orchard are owned by Sony. Caroline is owned by Universal, and ADA is owned by Warner Music. Major distributed independent. This is an independent entry that has little or no staff, but farther sign artists and makes a deal with the major label to perform many, sometimes all, of the functions beyond recording the records. These companies may be truly independent in ownership, or they may be owned in whole or in part by a major record company, such as Sub Pop, which is partially owned by Warner Music. The primary thing these companies bring to the party is the ability to find talent and then beat the distributing company to make sure their product gets promoted. Product released by these companies may be on the independent's own label or it may be on the distributing company label, in which case the public may know or never know the independent company exists. This type of entity is discussed in detail on page 191 in connection with independent production agreements. Here's a chart of that you can note that the retailer means streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, digital stores like iTunes and Amazon, and the disappearing physical retail locations, which are called brick and mortar locations like Walmart, the Marathon Store, independent production entity, major record company, and distributor retailer. Figure 2, major distribute independent record company. A world, a word about retailers. Thank y'all for y'all time. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, share, all that. We're gonna stop at page 74. A word about retailers, and this was one of my favorite music books. All you need to know about the music business by Donald S. Passman. Thank y'all for y'all time, and the best is yet to come. Keep thriving. We're global.